Okay, so in this video, we are going to just review a little bit again about the Aleph Bet, and then I'll teach you a song that will hopefully help you remember the Aleph Bet, okay? Um, First off, again, I would encourage you, if you don't yet have your workbook, and perhaps even if you do, to access the worksheets that you can then print out and go over. And it's nice you have kind of the suggested directions, or how you should uh, learn to write these, as far as the strokes go. So you can see Aleph has one stroke and then another that comes down and then a third off that. Um, in this column, you'll get essentially the print, that is, if it were printed in a book, um, Bible or rabbinical literature, what have you. And then here, this is how you should learn to write it. Something like this. I mean, you can add some little bits of flourish or personality, as will always come through in writing, as it is as idiosyncratic as the individual writing. Um, we'll not get into handwriting analysis or anything, but um, yeah, you can see here you kind of swoop down and then cross over at the bottom. Um, Now, the only times that you'll kind of break with the line, go either below the line or maybe a bit above the line, let's say, are on the final forms. So here you can see you have a kaf, and they make theirs a bit more circular than I would. So again, you've already got some of the personality coming through here. Um, uh, Here you want to go down below the line. With the lamed, you could go even up to the other line and then down, and then over. And you'll see I have my own sort of way of writing these. I don't go as angular on the mem as they do. I kind of curve mine a little bit more. It's fine so long as you can tell the difference. Um, Again, noon is going to go down below the line. It looks here, for instance, like the ein is swooping down. It shouldn't. It should stay kind of on the line and then come down. Pay in the final form, pay go down below the line. Same thing with the tzadi, and the kof. Um, Now, in your textbook, they have some look-alike letters here. So, for instance, I don't think you'll confuse the yod too much with these others, but you can, especially in the beginning, confuse yod and vav, and zayin and vav look very, very similar. Zayin here is just a bit more curved, and then the final form nun and the vav can look very similar. They are very similar, except that the final nun goes down farther. Mem and tet can often confuse students, and when they're first learning how to read Hebrew. They do look rather similar, but again, for when you're learning to write them out by hand, you can see a greater difference. So here, um, you kind of begin inside what I'll call the punch bowl or whatever, and then you can loop yourself around. So boop, and then with mem, you actually start at the bottom down here at the lower left, and then come up, down, and over, and then stick it out. It's got the little, what I'll call the chupchik. There are many chupchiks in Hebrew. So mem and tet, you got to look out for those. Ayin and tzadeh regularly get confused. I had myself, this was probably one of my biggest problems when I was learning Hebrew, is differentiating between the Ain and the Tzadeh, because they do look very similar. Again, the difference, the main difference with the Ain and the Tzadeh is again, where you start from. On the Ain, you start from the right and then come back over from left down. Whereas with the tzadeh, you begin from the upper left and come down this way, and then have your chupchik up. Um, I always remember tzadeh because A tzaddik is a righteous person, and this looks like to me, to some degree, like a little person on his or her knees praying to God. So that's a tzaddik. Hey, het, and tav are all very similar looking. Again, remember, het is closed because sin closes us off, and hey is always saying hello, hey, which is open. Taf has a little, well, I call it a foot, okay? So taf has a tough foot. Yeah, some of these others may cause you trouble. We'll go through them more in class, but do try to practice these letters before we meet on Monday if you can. I realize life is busy and this is coming in at pretty much the 11th hour, but if you can get to it, great. If you can't, I understand. So let's learn the Aleph Bet Song, okay? And we're gonna learn it in 4 parts, I think, right? Yeah, 4 parts. Okay, so the only thing that you need to know is that in this song, we're not going to sing anything about the final forms, and sheen and seen get sort of smushed together into just sheen here. All right, we only sing sheen. We don't sing about sin. All right, so these two, there's a kind of conflation in the song. All right, here we go. This is an Iraqi-Jewish song, and I love it. So it goes Aleph Bet Gimel Dalet Hey Vav Hey Vav. Aleph Bet Gimel Dalet Hey Vav Hey Vav. So we come back on the Hey Vav Hey Vav. Aleph Bet Gimel Dalet Hey Vav Hey Vav. And then the next part is Zain Het Tet Yod Kaf. Zain Het Tet Yod Kaf. So altogether, the first half, let's say, is Aleph Bet Gimel Dalet Hey Vav Hey Vav. Aleph Bet Gimel Dalet Hey Vav Hey Vav. Zain Het Tet Yod Kaf. Zain Het Tet Yod Kaf. And then the next part. Lamid Mem Nun Samich Ein Pe Ein Pe. Lamid Mem Nun Samich Ein Pe Ein Pe. And then again. Tzadikof Reshin Tav. Tzadikof Reshin Tav. Again, the sheen and the sin have conflated into one. Been conflated. Okay, so again, the second half here would go Lamid Mem Nun Samich Ein Pe Ein Pe. Lamid Mem Nun Samich Ein Pe Ein Pe. Tzadikof Reshin Tav. Tzadikof Reshin Tav. So all together we have Aleph Bet Gimel Dalet Hey Vav Hey Vav. Aleph Bet Gimel Dalet Hey Vav Hey Vav. Zain Het Tet Yod Kaf. Zain Het Tet Yod Kaf. Lamid Mem Nun Samich Ein Pe Ein Pe. Lamid Mem Nun Samich Ein Pe Ein Pe. Tzadikof Reshin Tav. Tzadikof Reshin Tav. And one last time, sort of a bit faster and a little bit syncopated. Aleph Bet Gimel Dalet Hey Vav Hey Vav. Aleph Bet Gimel Dalet Hey Vav Hey Vav. Zain Het Tet Yod Kaf. Zain Het Tet Yod Kaf. Lamid Mem Nun Samich Ein Pe Ein Pe. Lamed mem nun samich ein pe, tzadik ofreshin tav, tzadik ofreshin tav. Okay, hopefully that helps you, or at least entertains you a little bit. Something. Have a wonderful weekend, and if you have questions, email me. Otherwise, I will see you on Monday. Shalom lechem.